Have you ever felt it? That strange moment when life seems to fold in on itself. When a coincidence feels too sharp to ignore. When you wonder, why did this happen now of all times? Pause. You may think your life is a series of random events. But what if it isn't? What if every encounter, every triumph, and every heartbreak is part of a hidden pattern? A design you can't always see until you step back far enough to notice. Pause. Softer tone. Imagine standing in the middle of a vast tapestry. Threads are being woven all around you. Some bright, some dark, some barely visible at first glance. You can't see the full picture. All you see are fragments, single threads that appear disconnected, even meaningless. But one day you step back. You look again. And suddenly, you realize each thread was placed with precision. Every color, every twist, every knot forms part of something greater than you could have imagined. That is the hidden pattern behind your life. At first, it feels invisible. When you lose something precious. When opportunities slip through your hands. When people walk away. In those moments, the pattern feels cruel, almost mocking. You wonder, why me? Why now? And yet, if you wait long enough, if you look closely enough, a subtle rhythm emerges. That loss forced you to grow. That rejection redirected you. That failure sharpened you. None of it was random. None of it was wasted. Pause. Life whispers in patterns. But most of us, we only hear the noise. We don't pause long enough to listen. I remember a time when I felt trapped in a cycle of repetition. Different faces, different places. Yet the same disappointments echoing again and again. I asked myself, am I cursed? Or am I missing something? That was when I realized the pattern wasn't outside of me. It was within me. The world was simply reflecting it back. My choices, my beliefs, my silence, my fears. All of them were weaving the same design over and over. Pause. And if I didn't learn to see it, think of the seasons. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. The cycle repeats, but it is never the same. Each return carries a new layer, a new texture, a deeper rhythm. The same is true for the events in your life. They come in waves, repeating until you see the thread they are trying to show you. Think back to a moment when something impossible lined up too perfectly. Maybe you thought of someone and seconds later, they called. Maybe you missed a train, only to learn that missing it spared you from something worse. Maybe you stumbled upon a book, a conversation, a chance encounter that changed the direction of your life forever. Pause. Were those coincidences? Or were they glimpses of the hidden pattern revealing itself for just a moment? The truth is, synchronicity is not random. It is a signal, a pulse, a whisper from the fabric of reality reminding you that you are not drifting aimlessly, but walking through a design. The pattern is always there. Most of the time we are too distracted, too hurried, too consumed to notice. But every so often it breaks through the noise. And when it does, it feels almost supernatural. Pause, not because it is unnatural, but because it is the most natural thing of all, life showing you that it has been in conversation with you all along. Yet recognizing the pattern is not always comforting. Sometimes it's painful. Imagine reliving the same mistake, the same heartbreak, the same loss over and over. Different faces, different places, but the same ache. First, it feels cruel. But what if those repetitions are not punishment? What if they are invitations? Invitations to finally step out of the loop, to finally break the thread that keeps weaving the same story. I remember lying awake at night, replaying events I swore I would never let happen again. And yet, there they were, circling back, haunting me like a shadow I couldn't escape. And then I realized the pattern persists until the lesson is learned. Life doesn't move forward until you do. Pause. Every repetition is a teacher disguised as a trial. The moment you stop asking, why does this always happen to me? And start asking, what is this trying to show me? The pattern shifts. But here is the paradox. Even the patterns you think you've escaped have value. They leave behind a residue, a map of where you've been. They teach you not only who you are, but who you are not. Pause. Without them, you would not have the contrast you need to recognize joy, peace, and clarity when they finally arrive. Pause. Softer tone. Picture a river carving through rock. It flows in loops, bends, spirals. At first, it seems chaotic, without order. But over years, centuries, millennia, the pattern becomes clear. The curves, the bends, the erosion, all shape a path that could not have been designed better if it were planned. Pause, that is your life. Every detour, every delay, every heartbreak, every triumph, carving you, shaping you, aligning you with a pattern so intricate, so complex, that only time reveals its beauty. And still, there is a deeper truth waiting. Pause, the pattern is not something happening to you. It is something happening through you. You are not only the thread being woven, you are the weaver. The choices you make, the attention you give, the lessons you embrace. These are the hands shaping the design. And once you see that, you can stop living reactively and begin living consciously, creating with intention, breaking cycles, weaving new colors into the tapestry of your life. There comes a moment when you realize the pattern is not your enemy. It is your mirror. Pause, every heartbreak you endured was not meant to break you, but to reveal the places where love was waiting to be built within. Every failure you carried was not a verdict of your worth, but an initiation into resilience, teaching you that success is never just achievement. It is who you become along the way. Every delay, every detour, every closed door was not the end. It is like standing before a mosaic. Up close, the pieces look broken, scattered, senseless. But take a step back, shift your perspective, and suddenly the image appears. The fragments were never broken at all. They were pieces of a whole waiting for you to see the design. I think of the countless times I begged for clarity, only to be met with silence. And yet, years later, I would look back and whisper to myself, of course it had to happen that way. The job I didn't get led me to the place where I discovered my purpose. The people who left made space for those who would truly stay. The storms I thought would destroy me carved strength I didn't know I possessed. Pause, the pattern was always there. It just wasn't finished yet. Here is the revelation. You are not a passive character in the story of your life. You are the storyteller. The patterns you repeat are not cages. They are invitations. Every cycle, every recurrence, every seeming coincidence is a chance to wake up, to rewrite the script, to weave a new thread into the design. The moment you see it, you realize you have always had the power to step out of the loop, to choose differently, to create consciously, to become the weaver of your own destiny. But it takes courage. Courage to pause. Courage to notice. Courage to step back far enough to see the design. And above all, courage to accept that nothing was ever wasted. Not a single tear. Not a single failure. Not a single moment of waiting in the dark. All of it was part of the hidden architecture shaping you into who you are now. So maybe the real question is not, why is this happening to me? But rather, what is life trying to show me right now? Pause, because when you ask that question, the pattern shifts from something that confines you into something that guides you. You begin to see meaning where before there was only pain. You begin to notice synchronicities not as accidents, but as breadcrumbs leading you forward. You begin to recognize that the people who enter your life are not random, but reflections, mirrors placed at precise moments to awaken something within you. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. The threads reveal themselves. The tapestry comes alive. The random becomes intentional. The chaos becomes ordered. Even the darkest chapters begin to glow with hidden meaning. Because every event, every turn, every shadow, and every light was always part of a larger design. A design that has been shaping you, refining you, preparing you. Life is not just happening around you. It is happening through you. Pause, the hidden pattern is not some external force pulling strings above your head. It is you, your choices, your thoughts, your growth, the way you rise after falling, the way you open your heart even after it's been broken, the way you dare to keep going, even when you don't know where the road leads. You are both the thread and the weaver, both the character and the author, both the student and the design itself. So the next time life feels heavy, the next time events seem cruel or meaningless, pause, step back, look closer. Trust that the thread you hold in your hand is part of something far greater than you can yet see. Pause, because when the pattern finally reveals itself, you will understand it was never random. It was never wasted. It was always shaping you. And maybe, just maybe, the hidden pattern behind every event in your life is the quiet proof that you were never lost. You were always being woven into exactly who you were meant to become. And perhaps that is the quiet miracle hidden in plain sight, that even in moments when we feel powerless, the pattern itself is still carrying us, like an unseen current beneath the surface of the ocean, pulling us forward even when we believe we are standing still. Pause, you may not always recognize the meaning of what you're going through. Not in the moment. Not when the pain feels fresh or the confusion feels endless. But when you look back, when enough time has passed, the pieces begin to align. What once felt like loss begins to resemble redirection. What once felt like an ending begins to look like the first page of a new chapter. And that is the gift of perspective. The hidden pattern does not reveal itself in haste. It waits. It asks for patience. It asks you to trust the unfolding, even when you cannot see the whole picture. Pause, because every event, even the ones you wish you could erase, has been placed with precision. Every detour, every silence, every coincidence has been carving out the space for who you are becoming. So when life feels overwhelming, when you feel like everything is unraveling, remember this. Sometimes unraveling is the only way the deeper design can be seen. Sometimes threads must be pulled apart before they can be rewoven into something greater, something truer, something more aligned with the life you were always meant to live. And when that moment arrives, when you finally see it, the pattern will take your breath away. Long pause, because you will realize it was never just a pattern shaping your life. It was life shaping you. Soft closing line, whispered almost like a secret, the hidden pattern has always been love, quietly teaching you, gently guiding you, patiently waiting for you to notice. Thanks for watching.